Hey everyone, this is Kristen from KristenCoaching.com. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of boundaries in marriage or in any relationship that you have. You don't have to be married in order to have boundaries. But I wanted to talk about the importance of having boundaries in your marriage or any relationship in general because it's so important. Some people think having boundaries might be like a negative thing, but it's absolutely not, because it's a way that you know yourself really well and you're able to state your needs and your desires and your wants. And I think in any type of a healthy relationship, you need to have boundaries for yourself, and your partner needs to have boundaries for him or herself as well. It's very important, and you have to be able to do that. It's a way to set limits and set expectations, so your partner is able to, be able to meet those needs for you, and of course you're able to take care of yourself with the types of boundaries you have. Usually we can tell if somebody is violating our boundaries because we don't feel good about it. We feel almost like an invasion of just our personal space sometimes, or maybe just our personal awareness, but we feel almost invasive. We feel invaded upon when our boundaries are set. It doesn't have to be anything huge, but sometimes it gives us this feeling of like, that didn't feel good. And it's always important to be able to reflect on how you're feeling and be able to set those expectations and those boundaries in the future once they've been crossed. So there's some ways to be able to set boundaries in your marriage and in a relationship. The first thing you have to do is to be able to identify your feelings. What's going on internally? How are you feeling? What happened? What is making you feel a little, maybe upset or awkward or violated in some way? It's really important to be self-aware and be in tune with how you feel. This is really important. So it takes some reflection and it takes some time to really think about what happened. And then the second step in order to, set your boundary is you have to be able to communicate that to your other half. You have to be able to explain to your partner what happened and how it made you feel and, what you want in the future. That's really important. So you have to be able to communicate the fact that you felt uncomfortable or you felt upset or you were triggered in some type of a way. You don't have to do it in a blaming way. I don't suggest that you do that. But just in a way where you're owning your feelings and you're able to talk about just what you need in the future and say that in a gentle way and in an assertive way as well. You have to be you have to be strong in how you feel, which really brings me into my third step is don't doubt yourself when it comes to your boundaries. Sometimes we can feel kind of guilty or feel bad that we're setting these limits and expectations in our relationship. A lot of times we don't want our partner to feel bad, or we feel like maybe we're making too much of a big deal out of things. But at the end of the day, if you're feeling uncomfortable about something, if you're feeling that, an action happened that your partner may have did or something he or she said that made you feel bad or uncomfortable, it's important to talk about that, and it's important to set a limit and a boundary next time that happens. And boundaries can really range from anything in your relationship. But if something needs to be shifted a little bit and your partner needs to maybe do something differently in the future, that's and in order for you to feel good, that's a boundary, that's a limit, that's an expectation, and that's okay to have. So I wanted to just bring some awareness in terms of this video and think about the boundaries that you set for yourselves. I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day, and every time she comes home, she needs at least 5 minutes of just silence, 5 minutes to, put her keys down, put her purse down, sit down on the couch and just kind of decompress after a hard day's work. That's a boundary that she set for herself and her marriage, and her partner knows not to talk to her for 5 minutes when she first gets home. And then after that, he's able to ask her about her day and talk about what they're going to eat for dinner and all those things. But that's just an example of a boundary that certain people have. And so you have to think about what kind of boundaries do you have in your relationship? What things do you think that you need to maybe bring into the relationship in terms of boundaries and expectations, and start implementing them? I think they're really important to have, and it makes you more of a healthy individual and able to express your needs and be more assertive. And I want your partner to have that as well. It goes both ways. So feel free to comment below, ask me any questions, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube page, please do so, and you will get a pop-up every time I make a new video. Okay, you guys, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.